Welcome back, everybody. Episode 36 with the two fellas. Mike, Joe, how are you? Joe, back from your...
Do I have bags under my eyes?
No, you don't, but...
I don't, eh?
No.
Okay.
You showered, though, because you smell pretty good. 18 days on the road. I guess we'll just jump right into it with you. We'll start with you since, kind of almost forgot what you look like, but you're back. 18 days.
Yeah, welcome back, man.
5-4 record.
Thanks, guys.
Which is good, considering.
Yeah.
It's good anyway
We're
on the road.
certainly taking all on the road, yeah.
100%.
Yeah, 100, yeah. Yeah.
So-
I honestly, I'm excited. Yeah, for sure. I don't know how excited I am to have Lone Star coming in here and
Just getting right back to work.
my guess is, I don't know. We'll see. I
Oh,
have a
he's
feeling one of them is going to be not so good, but maybe we're going to try.
Yeah, so back here Friday night, home opener, which is going to be good. I'm pretty sure it's going to be
And I'm
a
sure the
sellout
first
crowd.
period, those players are like, you're always excited to play your home opener, right?
Yep.
Well, these kids are beyond excited to be here.
And a lot of these kids have never played in front of what they're going to play.
They've only been here for 8 days of the 38. We've technically been a Rhino.
Right. but
They're super excited.
So that's one. And Herm's done a great job with the ice. I'm not going to say we because I had no part of it, but the guys redid it. They shaved her down and repainted lines. Logo looks pretty awesome out there. And of course, the weather is starting to cooperate with us a little bit now, so it's getting even better as far as ice condition.
Yeah, no,
ice is good.
I saw that. When are they putting dashers?
They're doing it now.
Too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's always a run or a race, the week of home opener, just because we don't want to put the dashers up too early just because they'll take a beating.
Oh, yeah.
And so we just push it right back to the week of, and here we are.
Yeah.
It's a quarter of the way done, and we got 2 days. So,
Yeah.
We used to have to do that.
remember?
Oh, yeah. If you lost a small area game, you were given a razor blade and go peel it off.
So those are back in the old days
Oh, yeah.
where you could get away with stuff, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Dude, that's child labor laws.
It's awesome.
It was great, man. Nobody wanted to lose.
Yeah, talk about battling, Joe.
Oh, my God.
You know what I
I know right now. I was going down swinging.
Yeah,
I was going to have my
100%.
running shoes on. I know that.
Skate guards are coming off.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, so that's the week of, but Lone Star's coming in. I don't even know what the record is. It's not like it matters anyway.
I looked for the
September,
first
October.
time at the league standings on my way home on Sunday.
Yep.
I'll probably go 5 a.m. for those of you that want to know what I was doing at 5 a.m. They're 5-1.
5-1.
Yeah, and I've watched a lot of video. We're prepared, but
It's a measuring stick for
yeah,
you.
like
Know where the group's at.
I mean, he's got a new group there, and we got a new group.
Yeah,
and,
100%.
I mean, Dan every year is going to be top 4 team in the division every year, blindfolded.
Yeah.
He's really good at what he does, and they're going to compete their ass off. And I know that they're usually. I mean, I know every time we played them in the showcase, we beat them. And
What did we split? What was the record last year? 500 against them?
No, we were 2-4-2. I believe. Yeah, 2-4-2, which ultimately equals 2-6. But
Right.
they're also the Robertson Cup champions. They had a hell of a hockey.
Yeah, they
team
had a
this
great
year.
team.
So one thing I do know is they ain't as good as they were last year.
Well, that's a good thing.
And that's not saying that they're
Well,
not going to be good, but
no,
that hockey team
it's-
they had last year was really good, and they deserve to win.
Yeah.
And they're certainly not handing out.
And he does a great job with them, and he gets them well prepared, and he's always a ride to watch on the bench.
Yeah.
He's
so detailed, man.
so detailed, so passionate, so everything about it.
I had to
yeah.
tell. I told my players today that, I mean, I've been there for his pregame skates, and what he does in a pregame skate is, like, I would have quit. I want to go out there and flip the puck around for 20 minutes and go off. Like,
No helmet on,
oh
just
yeah,
rocking
no,
around.
absolutely, yeah. Cigarette in between shit.
Yeah, just back in the day.
Yeah, but I
Fighting over a roll of
I
sock
was
tape.
literally watching last year, and they were battling, like they were, and I
practice
I don't
like you play.
disagree, but it's the morning of a game. He wins. Like I don't know. Maybe
We used to play when I played with the Buzzards. We used to play a game called Juice Boy, and there was many names for it, right?
Yeah.
So we're in playoffs, man. We're in playoffs, and we're in Shreveport. Our tough guy's playing, and our backup goalie's in net, and both of them are firecrackers. And our backup goalie's like, Rusty, why are you playing? Because you're going to lose and you're not going to pay. And of course, they're going back and forth chirping. Well, Rusty takes a shot, hits him in the head. Our goalie drops his shit, mask included, charges him. This is pregame skate, and Shreveport's watching us. I think this is like game 4. They're battling, literally fighting. And we're just kicking back, and just another day in the Whipple.
No Whipple.
You know what I mean? But pregame skates are always fun.
Juice boy.
We used to go hard in pregame skates. Like it was like with Herm, it was an hour. It was short. But we used to go hard.
It was so short.
Well, that's short for one of his practices. I mean,
You guys used to go 3 hours, man.
oh yeah, oh yeah,
Couple floods. Oh, dude.
yeah. Dude.
Religiously.
Dude, we had 20 minutes worth of work today at our flood.
Yeah.
Okay. And we came back after the flood, and it was terrible. Now, leading up to the flood, I had no problem with practice. It was good. Mm-hmm. And then the minute you give them a break, and I don't care what team I've had in the last 10 years, that they got 45 minutes to an hour.
Yeah.
And after that, you're wasting your time because their focus level. I yelled at them today with 5 minutes to go on practice.
Yep.
Like I got guys over there playing grab ass, and we're trying to teach something on our penalty kill.
Oh, when we came down there, when we were looking for the cable, you're like, oh, shoot, another 5 minutes. I'm like, well, perfect. Well, 5 turned into 45. And,
Right?
Right?
Well, it was because they can't. So I've never felt the reason, and maybe it turns into being about me, but I can't deal with it. I can't deal with watching you be really good and then progressively get worse.
Yeah.
So I literally save you the.
Now, is that the attention span?
Yes.
Point of diminishing returns.
Yes. So I just say, you know what? Have a stretch. I'll see you later.
Yeah,
See you
I'm
tomorrow.
out.
Like I'm begging at this time, and I'm not begging. If this is what
We're getting.
then we're not going to do it because if I'm the one chasing you around,
You're going to get so frustrated, Joey, your hair's going to go back.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
right? We were talking about that this morning.
Your hair?
No, somebody else's hair,
Oh, yeah? Who's mine?
frosted tips. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, no, they are.
No,
Speaking about frosted tips,
A little salt and pepper.
little
Yeah.
J-Dog.
where is Jay? I haven't seen Jay.
He's coming in. He'll be in at about 2 o'clock. We haven't talked about Jay in a while, but we'll get to him. I got some stuff on him.
Well,
I do.
told me he put air on my tire. Okay, what day is it today? I have usually 5 days where I have to put air on my tire. I called him on Friday. I said, Jay, we put air on my tire for me so it's not flat when I get to the rink. Yeah, well, yesterday, it was Tuesday, so it's really only been 4 days. Light came on in the car. I had a bone to pick with him. He's my boy. He's like NASCAR pit crew guy for me.
Get you off quick.
When did you tell him to put the air in? Maybe it's your fault.
Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. I talk to him every day. I don't know what day he did it.
I have no idea. I never noticed.
Well, it doesn't really ever go flat.
But you know what I did? Like I was looking just because, to see if it was flat. And I didn't see it flat, like rim flat.
No. It doesn't really get there. I think once it gets under a certain pressure, it just maybe stops leaking.
But
I thought maybe I should just go buy a new tire.
But he hasn't been the same since you've been gone. He's been playing through injury.
Yeah, I heard.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
I thought he'd be out
Were
6
you-
weeks. I didn't know he's playing.
Well, that's
through
about the length you were gone.
Yeah.
So was he? Well, he sprained his ankle, right?
Yeah.
And then. So was that when you were here?
No,
You were gone.
He did it. He did it
when
right
you're-
after.
Right when you left?
Yes, right
Yeah.
immediately when we left. Yeah.
Well, he was like, man, I think I'm gonna be done. I'm like, come on, dude. Like, anyway, I don't know if I shamed him or what, but he came back into work, man, and he was gimping around for a day, but he was fine.
Yeah, shortest sprained ankle
You
recovery
know what I mean?
ever.
Wow, shit, the guy's recovered from a lot of different things in a quick period of time.
Yeah, he has. Yeah,
He's
he
a
has.
great dude. But we're getting close to the corn on the cob.
Are we?
Yeah. So we're every time we have a staff meeting up here, somebody brings it up because there's a lot of people who want to see it.
Well, I think he swallows his tooth. That'd be the over and under in my world. He swallows.
It's like if you got 5 minutes and how many kernels are left on the cob.
You think you can pick him out one at a time?
Oh, absolutely not. He would, oh,
kid's
jeez,
Jay.
I love Jay, but
okay.
I would honestly pay. I'd pay. There's a lot of things I'd pay money to see. That's one of them.
Yeah, I'd throw in on that.
I'd pay money to see that
I'd throw in on that.
for sure, dude.
Well, maybe the next time you're going to have a nap on the railway tracks, we'll just say, "Hey, come on over here. Just cheer up when we watch Jay eat corn."
Now that's a cure for depression.
Right there,
Right.
Right?
All these medications, all they have to do is just show everyone a video of Jay eating corn on the cob.
Just come to one of our podcasts and you get to see behind the scenes.
Yeah, there you go.
That's a comical for everybody. So yeah, old Jay, but yeah, he's back at full force. He did good. He did good making the ice. He was going to have a panic attack the one morning that he was honestly Herm thought he was going to have a panic attack.
He almost did.
Yeah, were you
aware.
around for that?
Yeah.
Why? What happened?
Well, from what I understand, again, this is probably fourth or fifth hand information, so take it for what it's worth. And I always seem to grease it up a bit. They just finished painting, right? Mm-hmm. And Jay and Andres were on the night crew or whatever. And Andres had the wand, and somehow he put it down, and the water turned on and burned a bunch of holes back into the new freshly painted paint. And so Jay almost had a heart attack just because, there's a masterpiece there, and then you turn it into freaking paper machete type.
But you still got to build ice. So
yeah, they just, it was just painted.
So
there's nothing on it.
And so it's you can fix that though. A little bit of paint and just rebuild, and you can fix that pretty quick.
But just the amount of time and effort that goes into to paint and everything like that, and just we can't mess this up. Well, Jay thought he was having a heart attack. Poor bastard. But enough of Jay. So, how was this past weekend, Joe? You were in Colorado.
Yep.
5-1, 5-1, great. Second half of game 2.
Yeah.
Some good stuff.
Played really well.
Some good stuff.
Played really well. That was the first time in 9 games that I really felt like the puck was doing most of the work.
Yeah.
And anytime you see a good hockey team, the one thing they're going to do is move the puck to each other.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And they really started to do that for the very first time. I mean, we had found some ways to win some games, but it wasn't pretty.
Yeah.
We win game 1 of the year, we win in Shreveport one night, not pretty. They beat us one night. Then we go in. And Minot's a good hockey team.
Yeah.
Much farther ahead this time of year than most teams.
Yeah.
And, Manzi stops 46 of 47.
2 shorties.
Yeah. And then the next night, doesn't go great. Lavu lets in, there's nothing he doesn't know, so I'm not speaking ill, but, a couple of soft goals, a couple of soft plays by defensemen, and we lose to a team that, in my opinion, we had no business losing to.
Right.
Then we play another team we have no business losing to, and I'm going to say, in a sense, maybe ran out of gas. That's an excuse because that's their third game in 3 days. It's our third game in 3 days, and it was their first 3 of the year, so they should have been really tired.
Right? Yeah.
So and then we find our way to Dubuque, Iowa, and we practiced for 3 days. Got my staff out on the Mississippi River for Sunday afternoon, where northeast Iowa is really a beautiful place. Wisconsin, Illinois.
Yeah.
So they got to spend the afternoon on an experience I don't think they would have ever gotten otherwise. So it was nice to do that for them. My family was in town. My wife, anyway, and my son's there.
I'm
He's
just
hurt.
Going back through your road trip, and stuff is popping up in my head right now.
But everything was really close there, so I think the trip went better. And I haven't asked the players, but I assume that because I didn't hear the complaining, that by us staying there where everything was walkable, we didn't have to move the bus other than really to go to the rink.
Yeah.
We spent 3 days at University of Dubuque. As part of,
and shout out to them. Thank you guys very much for taking care of us.
Yes. Seamus, Mark Plannery.
Thank you.
The school it was awesome, and what a beautiful place.
Yeah.
I drove through that school every day for 9 years. I never paid attention, and then they got a huge donation there they got $500 million.
Nice.
And they're one of the only flight schools in the country. They have aviation, and it is absolutely stunningly beautiful. They got a new Division III team. And so they were great to us. And then we got on the bus, and I guess it was about 5 o'clock on Thursday. We were on the bus, and then finally, I guess you could say for me, it was like, oh, my God, I've had enough. Like, get me off this thing. But we found a way. And we talked about it. Like, guys, what was really funny, I said to them before the game on Friday night, I said, are you guys tired? And they all look at me. No, we're not. And I said, yeah, you are. Because you want to know who is? I am. Do you want to know who gives a shit? Nobody. And I was like, nobody cares. We're going to get through this,
Yeah.
and we got to find a way to dig in. And it was really, I thought it was good, and that's why I was so excited. I usually don't work on the bus too much. I don't know if you do, Mike. I don't, and I literally worked for 3 or 4 hours on the bus on coming home on Saturday night, and I don't do that. I had every practice plan made. I had everything.
You're
done.
just excited to get back home.
Well, I don't know if it was that or the fact we played well for 40 minutes where I was like, you know what? We can build off this. Like, and we got a good team coming in here. So I was excited. Like I maybe it was just coming home. I don't know.
A little bit of everything.
I just know I usually come to work on Monday and I prepare where I was done most of it before I even got out of bed.
When you play well, it gives you juice, and you're like, all right, this is where we're at. Now we can do this, and so you start moving on. And
Well, that's what happened because before that I was like, let's just cover the basics and let's hope they can do it. And they showed something. So
the last 2 games, obviously on a long road trip, are probably the toughest, just because the finish line's there, so to speak. And it's like, man, let's just get through this. And guys are just punching in and just kind of going through motions. That's what you would expect, in my opinion. I've been there, done it.
Yeah, me too.
This case was obviously not the case. There's
Well, the best bet in hockey and the best bet, and it's the only bet I'd ever make. I'm not a betting man, but I used to be. Is after a long road trip, the first game home, teams suck.
yeah.
And that's why I say more about our players being so overly excited to play.
Well, a lot of them, you went through this, your home opener weekend. A lot of these kids haven't played in front of what they're about to play in front of.
No.
And the production that goes into it. There's, not to say we're the biggest and baddest or whatever, but we put a lot of time and effort into what
Absolutely.
we do, and we got a lot of support locally, and knock on wood, should be a good weekend in that sense.
Yeah, it gets the emotions high for a guy who's never played.
And, guys will just possibly act out of character just because. We've all done it. I've done it, especially, you get a sold-out crowd. I'm going to be a donkey today. You know what I mean? It's just do some stupid shit, right?
Donkey today, he said.
You know what I mean? Now, you've done it. You've done it. We've all done it. You know what I mean? So hopefully we don't see a lot of that.
We're going to get through it.
One thing I do want to touch on, though. Well, two things that happened this past weekend. Lavulo getting ran.
Oh.
You see it. Is it intentional? The camera's kind of far. Absolutely is intentional.
100%.
100%. A guy can break. You can break in a matter of a foot and a half.
Oh, you can attempt to get out of the way just by diving.
Right.
And there was no attempt.
None.
There was none. And I've never sent video in ever. That's not who I am. And Tony never once sent a video in. And what's really funny is it happened halfway through the second period, right? And I come in, and I don't usually check my phone until the game's over. And I was sitting next to it, and it beeped. It was my son.
Yeah.
And he says, "Is the roof coming off that son of a bitch, Dad?" And I said, "No." He said, "That young man's out of the game." But I said, and after I got text messages from the league asking me, and the cat's going to be out of the bag here in a second, but and like, is he okay? No, he's not okay. No. And that kid best be suspended, because if he doesn't, when he comes back to our building, he best face the music. Because if he doesn't, then you're going to be calling me saying, "Hey, you just get 5-game suspension." I'm okay. So be it. I said, because that was absolutely 100% one of the most intentional things I've ever seen by, quite frankly, it was a cowardly act. And I have no problem saying that. And then now the kid's on the wire. So
and he'll get traded.
He can't get suspended.
He'll
be
get
released.
Yeah, he'll get traded to another division, or he'll be out of the league.
But
one of the two. Not just because of that. But
that kid's not going to do it.
One thing that is so different from, I can't really say that, but I'm not to say our guys didn't react appropriately, but I thought there would have been more at the time of.
Well,
and again, I'm not endorsing it. I'm just saying.
Well, the kid that had been on our team for 30 minutes responded.
Yeah.
Cut his fingers all up. And
what a player, too, man.
Yeah, he's a hell of a player, eh, Gordo? And then got suspended. For what? For removing the player's helmet. Mm-hmm. So here's the best part. The guy that I can't even talk about that, but so we get all our penalties were rescinded.
Yeah.
So he just overcalls everything, but there's some people that look at consequences the way some do and say, well, geez, I don't want to be suspended, so I'm not going to do that. I look at a suspension and be like, I don't care. My point is you're going to get like I don't
something's
care.
coming.
Like, something's coming.
Yeah.
And I think that the situation that we were on the power play. I don't know, but I wasn't very happy with the kid getting 2 and 10 and suspended, and then it was rescinded. But
it's today's day and age, man. You know what I mean? It's the
well,
new,
I had
world,
one of
dude.
our players, Bam Bam there, Mr. Kimball. He just said, I think that kid best never hope he ever shows his face in El Paso. Yeah.
Oh, it's in his best interest not to.
So it was interesting, but
Well,
I
the good
thought it was cowardly, like
can't
really
disagree with
cowardly
that.
act. Like I was recruiting a kid, our first round pick, 2 years ago. We didn't get him. He ended up in Waterloo, and then he ended up quitting hockey. But this kid, it was one of the funniest things I'd ever seen. But it showed it wasn't funny per se, but the kid literally runs a kid from behind on purpose. Now, not where his head went into the boards, but he was standing straight up against the glass. He hits this kid, and then the kid goes down. He just turns around, and he's literally 60 feet from anybody when he does it. He just turns around, drops his gloves, and wait for the first guy coming.
Dude.
And I was like, I love that kid. I was like, it was just, hey, I did what I did.
Yeah, it's
now
coming.
I'm gonna own it.
Answer the bell.
I mean, yeah. So I was quite okay with it.
Well, you know what makes it more cowardly, like the running of the goalie, is that the way the game has changed, and knowing that you're not probably going to have to answer the bell because of all the rules that have been put in place.
Yeah.
Because 10 years ago, that kid's not doing that.
No, he doesn't even think about doing it.
Nope.
Doesn't even contemplate doing it. No. And Lavulu is hurt. Like he's going to be at least 3 weeks, maybe a month.
And then it's going to take him a good 2 weeks to get back in the swing.
Like he only played. It was his third hockey game. The first 2 he played weren't great. He played great for the first period and a half. I was pretty disappointed. But you know what? He'll continue to work.
Yeah, he'll get through it, and we'll all get through it, and whatever comes, right? On a lighter note, Coughlin buries his first junior goal.
Yeah.
Hey?
I like that kid, man.
There's no.
I text his old man immediately after.
That's awesome. His dad's a special person in my life. He works. He does great work for us in North. He's a rink rat, and his son, who is a special individual, he's the consummate and ultimate teammate.
Yep.
And like for instance, like I wouldn't even say that kid we're talking about the goalie. I wouldn't. I'm not going to say anything to my players because of people like him. Like he's just going to look at me and say, "Hey, I'm starting tonight, right?" Sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, you like he's just you're not doing that to my teammates, and he's awesome. Yeah, he was wheeling out there today. He was on the power play today, on the mock power play, and he was wheeling. And I literally skated by another kid that's on our power play, and I said, "See him?" I said, "You better get going. He's gonna take your job."
Oh yeah,
he was wheeling, and he's a great kid, man. Yeah. Unbelievable.
Good for him.
Unbelievable.
Good for him, man.
Huge bounce.
Yeah,
and everybody. I love those kind of people because when they do something good like that, every single person is happy for them.
Yep.
Yeah,
and they bring people together, and that's
it does.
What he does.
That takes exactly that.
Yeah, and he does that, and and there's a lot of people that probably look at him and think, why is he here? Or he's not the best player in the world, but you know what? He blocks shots. He's killing penalties for us right now. He'll do anything for his teammates. Like, and there's something to be said for that. Yeah, he's not going to get many, but when he gets them, they're going to matter, and they're going to matter to his teammates, or they're going to matter to our team, or.
That was awesome.
And those kids are getting harder and harder to find.
Yeah.
somebody who's willing to sit there and just wait for their number to be called, and in between do all the work that's necessary.
100%.
Yeah.
I 100%. He's a special kid.
It's called humility.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Then other kids.
Big words from the educated guy over here.
Over there, right? Yeah.
Don't make fun of my
Yeah,
degrees.
most of them can't see the forest for the trees.
Yeah.
So.
Amen to that. Yeah. So, Mikey, this weekend you're off to College Station.
Yep.
That's not quite an 18-day road trip, but
it's
a
a football game.
Oh, he's playing up there, Joe.
Yeah,
I know. I'm just.
Might skip away. I don't know.
Well, the football stadium's right across the street from the rink, right?
Yeah,
Fairly
right
close.
there. Yeah.
Yeah, because I was there with my son one time 10 years ago. And
I like going to College Station just because there's nobody. There's going to be there's probably more people sitting up here than there will be in the building to watch, but it's still.
Wasn't that a Don Stone team?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Sorry, Don. Thanks for the schedule, Don.
But it's going to be a test for you because Beavis, he always seems to do a good job. We've talked about it last week, but he's one of those guys that'll, man, we're the shits. We got nothing, and then all of a sudden come out and smoke you 50 to rip.
How far is that?
10.5.
That's a walk in the park.
Yeah, nothing.
Walk in the park.
You know what? Herm just walked in here. We should have talked to him about an airplane when he walked in.
Yeah,
He
man.
Left. Hey, he's never here long. Eh?
Well,
He's just
little
always
Cessna.
avoiding. He's just avoiding the questions at all times. We need a team jet. Like enough of this.
Talk to
Mikey's
Hio.
going 10.5.
Talk to Hio.
Yeah. He'll be like, yeah, guys, don't get her done.
hey, he'll always ask. He'll always at least ask.
Right? Hey, Herm, can we get a jet? Really? All right. I asked. Hey, guys, I asked. The answer's no.
I asked.
Yeah. I don't know, man. It's out of my hands.
Mike, where are we at? Nope, not happening. So College Station, they'll be good. The guys will be ready to roll after weekend off. Practices are getting a little bit better.
Yeah. We took a couple steps. Yesterday was 2 steps back, but then today another 2 steps forward. So we kind of, leveled out. I would say Monday and today, 2 of the best practices, if not the best practices of the year.
That's good.
Things are getting sharper. They're starting to get it. Looking forward to what they put together on Friday. Obviously, we need one. Got to get the monkey off the back, and then
takes one, man.
from there. Yep.
It just takes one. It's a long season, and the guys feel it too. Now, especially now, like it's going to be on their minds. We got to get the first one. We got to get the first one. It's just like when you're drought for scoring. If you don't score after X amount of games, they just seem harder to come by. But it'll come. It'll come for sure.
Yeah. The first one's always gonna be hardest. And I told them first one's gonna be ugly. First one's gonna be ugly.
Yep.
Oh, it always is, man. Mm-hmm. Hey, I haven't talked to you. Well, I mean, we've talked, but not about how were your games? Like, I mean, I know
we got
the
4
result,
minutes
but
left, fellas. Just
I
throwing that
know.
out there.
Yeah. I mean, this could be a long one, but I'll try to keep it quick. I mean, so
You're in them all, right?
We were always in them. I think the home opener weekend, it was just lack of understanding of the systems and the way they need to play.
Yeah.
That kind of carried over a little bit into New Mexico, and then the underlying issue more than anything for me was just a lack of compete and not understanding that it's like, yeah, I could be John Cooper and drop all the systems in the world, but if you don't work and follow the details and the habits within the system and compete, it don't
system
matter.
means nothing.
It means nothing. And that's what we were missing, and they're starting to piece it together that, hey, these systems work, but it's hard work to do it.
Yeah.
And that's what was missing.
Weird.
Yeah.
Weird how that works. So
I
you
have
got to
to
put
work.
you got to put in the time and effort to make anything work.
Well,
Move your feet off the puck.
We forechecked going back a number of years ago, and we lived off it. Like you came to you didn't even want to come play us, because it was just pressure everywhere. And for the last 3 years, I was standing there with Sherman a couple weeks ago, and I looked at him and I said, "Am I teaching this wrong?" Because I've taught it the same way for 8 years, but the players don't want to do it because it's work.
Yeah.
Now they'll do it at times, they won't do it other times. Well, you have to live off it, so you got to do it all the time. And it's really interesting that comment is because I've really in the last 2 or 3 years I find that out that there's a lot of things that worked for a long time, and the human body hasn't changed, the muscle hasn't changed.
Yep.
But
They're better athletes.
they're better
Yeah.
athletes today, but they don't
100%.
want to do it.
Yeah, finding a good F1 is a hard thing to come by, and I tried to explain that to them. If a coach calls you a good F1, that is one of the biggest compliments you can get, and guys are unwilling to do that.
We called our forecheck one. It's different than when I went around. We called it Mad Dog. Like that first guy's got to be a mad dog. Get after it.
Mad dog.
Yeah,
That's right.
But I hear you. So
Well, it's gonna be.
you'll get there, buddy.
Yeah, man. It'll be a good weekend for you. Good test.
Yeah.
Joe, same with you. Another good test here
I
at
can't
home.
believe we're at home.
Yeah,
man.
we're at home, right?
Like you have no idea. Like I hate living alone, but I'm pumped to go home today. I got in a couple more meetings at 3:00, but at 4:00, you're
Sleep
good
in
to
your
go.
own bed,
I'm
man.
going home. Yeah, I'm going home.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we got NA3 playing up in College Station Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Did you pay attention to the schedule change?
I did.
And Joe, you're here Friday, Saturday, 7:00 start. Should be a good one. So any listeners out there, you want some tickets, go ahead and get a hold of me, guys. We'd love to have you. It's going to be a good barn burner, good
It'll be good.
action-packed
It'll be good
weekend.
hockey.
So, best of luck to you.
Thank you.
Safe travels, Joe.
Michael,
good luck
best
to you.
luck.
Yep.
And remember, guys, take care. Come over here. Keep sticking on the ice.